Hare Krishna. Even when Krishna is in the world is still in him. When Krishna descends in this world, it is often easy for people to think of him as just another person, as like all of us. And with this presumption about Krishna, based on his manifested appearance, people find it very difficult to understand that this person, how can he be God? No, he's God, he's supposed to be the source of everything, but this person is just one of the many things in this world, one of the many persons in this world. So, that misunderstanding needs to be clarified and removed through serious scriptural contemplation. When we study scripture, we understand the transcendental position and disposition of Krishna. So the transcendental position is that Krishna is beyond this world. The very word transcend means to go beyond or be beyond. So when we say Krishna is transcendental, that means that he exists beyond this world. So first, the beginning of philosophy is to understand at some level God's transcendence. That everything in this material world is finite, it is temporary, but Krishna is infinite, God is infinite and God is eternal. So in that sense, God transcends the limitations of time and space that characterize and limit everything in this material world. So we understand Krishna's transcendental position through the philosophy that is given in the Bhagavad Gita, and indeed in all the great theistic traditions of the world. Now Bhagavad Gita goes one step further and describes that Krishna has not just a transcendental position, but he also has a transcendental disposition. Transcendental disposition means, in general in this world, when a person is great, then that person wants to flaunt one's greatness. Now wants everyone to be aware, I am so great. And then the person delights in how everybody respects and adores that person for that person's greatness. But Krishna has a mentality, has a disposition that is transcendental to such a self-seeking disposition that is typical in this world. And because of that transcendental disposition, Krishna does not delight in displaying his godhood and in seeking subordination from everyone due to his godhood. Rather, he delights in the reciprocation of love. And for the sake of having uninhibited reciprocation of love with his devotees, he subordinates his omnipotence, he subordinates his divinity, his supremacy and manifests in a very eminently lovable and loving form as almost like an ordinary person. So when Krishna manifests in this world, he just looks like one of us. Or rather, even when Krishna manifests at the highest spiritual abode in Golok Vrindavan, there also he manifests not in the majesty of godhood, but in the intimacy of a personable, lovable manifestation of God as a cowherd boy. And when Krishna descends in this world, avatariti iti avatar, when he descends in this world, at that time also, he retains that eternal transcendental form. And that's why we tend to misunderstand him. But Krishna, although he may, because he has assumed, due to his transcendental disposition, a form which seems to be finite and limited. So, because when a person is so great and so big, we may revere that person, but it's difficult to love that person. So, on an intimate, we have to have a personal relationship with that person. But when Krishna manifests in a finite form, then it becomes easier to love that person. So that way, Krishna manifests in a form which is loving and lovable. So when Krishna descends into this world, we may misunderstand that he is also having a finite, limited, temporary form like the rest of us. But his transcendental position is not affected even when he descends in the material world. And he demonstrates his transcendental position on many occasions, such as when he manifests as when he reveals the Vishwarupa. So, for example, when Krishna reveals the Vishwarupa in the 11th chapter, it is described that ihaikastham jagat kritsnam pashyadya sacharacharam mama dehe gudakesha yachanya drashtumichyasi. So Krishna says in the 11th chapter, 7th verse, ihaikastham, in this one place, jagat kritsnam, the whole universe, pashyadya sacharacharam, pashya now, see, characharam, the moving and non-living moving beings. That means all living beings are there in this world. Mama dehe guda kesha, oh Arjuna, in my body. Yachanya drashtumichyasi, and whatever else you want to see, that also you will see. So in this way, when we understand Krishna's, so this Vishwarupa demonstrates how even when Krishna is in this world, the world is in him. That means Krishna's assuming a form that seems limited and finite like the rest of our forms, that does not affect his transcendental position in any way. And whenever he wants, he can demonstrate his omnipotence, and he can demonstrate how the universe is present in him. And that is what he does when he gives the Vishwarupa darshan to Arjuna. So, by meditating on such manifestations of Krishna wherein he reveals his greatness, we can avoid the misconception that Krishna is just like one of us. And by studying deeper the philosophy, we can understand how in a transcendental sense Krishna wants to be just like one of us, not in the sense that he wants to be at the material level of consciousness, but he wants to love and be loved, and just as all of us want to be. And when we realize this personable, lovable aspect of Krishna, then it becomes so much easier to not only love him, but to also to realize that in loving him, our heart's longing to love and be loved will be fully fulfilled. So, by thus understanding, by thus not letting Krishna's human-like manifestation obscure our awareness of his divine position, we can succeed in the redirection of our love from this world to Krishna. Thank you. Hare Krishna.